Yes, I am late. I'm always late though. This is my life. I'm catching up with life though. I'm feeling good. We're gonna have some fun, you know what I mean? We're gonna get it in a little bit today. I'm gonna wait for y'all to get on in here. I'll probably be texting and messaging and everything else. Oh, hey. It's one of the coldest remixes I ever heard. What's crazy is I always have to find a spot to get service. Yeah, I always had to find a spot, so I end up coming to my old spot. Uh-oh, we got Belinda in the house. Hope you feeling better. Y'all know I'm about to talk some shit when I'm starting off with Phil Collins and Michael Jackson. My man sent me this remix, Reno. I said, this is shit. I'm guzzling his teeth because I'm about to talk my shit. What's up, Ryan? Yeah, Ryan, we gotta link up, man. I guess the good news is that oh yeah, I'm gonna hit you up. I'm gonna hit you up right after this thing. What's up, Mike? I finally got some paperwork issues straightened. So we just gonna have some fun this morning though. Adrian, what's going on? I can listen to that shit all morning. Hey. Man, that DJ, what is it? Sick Kick Music, man. Dude, a bad boy. Y'all know I likes my music. Let me adjust this thing. I got my thumb all in y'all face. Man. You know what, Larry? You still gotta send me your address. We even, but I'm still sending you a bottle of a skinny girl. I still gotta send you a bottle of skinny girl, so we can sip together. That's my dude, man. Me and Larry been rocking for about 5-6 years now. Only thing we can't agree on, he like them stinking ass Ravens. You know what I mean? Team running around with black and purple on. What kind of shit is that? They just running around black and purple on. Nobody do that. And y'all's ain't even purple, it's really violet. That's what y'all wear, violet. But you know, man, starting off on some crazy shit this morning. One of the reasons why I'm late, my cousin called. Yeah, I'm still on the skinny girl. They ain't made a skinny guy yet, Belinda. Shit. Till they make a skinny guy wine, I got to drink what the girls drink. And sometimes it ain't nothing wrong with that. Anyway, I guess this crazy ass TikTok, they said it's a TikTok challenge today. What's going on, Maurice? And the damn challenge is for the kids to shoot up your school day. They had some shit before where I guess it was slap your teacher day or some shit. So these people keep making up these crazy ass challenges, and they got people freaked out. Yeah, I got your message. We gonna have to talk. Yeah, they got the people freaked out and everything with these kids doing all this crazy stuff, man. Oh man, he's still talking about my Browns. My Browns is the COVID Browns right now. But but you know, we live in crazy ass times, man. I was talking to my man Sniper last night, and it's just crazy times. I think, you know, we should just have national fuck a kid up day is what we should do. Just find a kid that's in need of being fucked up, and just the whole community should just bust their motherfucking head to the white meat, because it's getting ridiculous. It's then got ridiculous, you know. It's then got ridiculous, you know. Oh, for those who want to update on John is doing better. You know, he was dealing with some issues, primarily with his heart, and he's definitely doing better. You know what I mean? But not out the woods, but he's doing a lot better. You know, from everything I've heard from multiple people, and his old ass better call me back. But I understand he had just got out of the hospital, so I was probably trying to contact him when he was in the hospital. You know. Yeah, but yeah, we gotta get back. Yeah, bust these damn kids' head down to the white meat. I ain't talking about give them a knot. I want you to split the kid so that you can see it open and we can see some skull there, because we try to get to your skull, kids. What's going on, brother Rico? Because this is crazy, you know. I told Sniper, I come from an era where kids got their ass whooped, you know. And it just, you know, I mean, you whoop a kid, you save a life sometimes. And I ain't talking about abusing kids, so don't y'all start that shit. But we cater to these kids so much and all this emotional stuff and all of that. And like I told Sniper, man, look, my mom, first of all, my mom, you know, she had a black belt, you know. And I mean, she had a real black belt and whooping kids' asses. You know what I'm saying? I believe, you know, because, you know, she's Portuguese. I believe she had a Portuguese red belt and ass whooping. Because you run and you get around the corner and the belt will follow you around the corner and tackle you. And then just like jiu-jitsu, the belt would climb up you and get back in her hand while you on the ground. Now you can't run. And she would literally whoop your ass until you smoked, you know. And I'm talking about good smoke too, like Snoop Dogg smoke. Like she would literally whoop your ass. But the worst part about it is that was like the warm-up round. Cause she would whoop your ass and you be all stung up and everything. Then you gotta sit in your room. And shit gets real. Because you sitting in your room, and now, you know, this crazy ass dad gonna come home. And my dad, man, to this day, I tell him what was wrong with you in the 80s, man. Cause he would come, I mean, like for real, like I'm expecting a conversation. Like, let me explain to you how this happened, Dad. Nope. It'd be just like WrestleMania. You hear this theme music come, the glass break like Stone Cold, but he coming in on Rick James, you know what I mean? Oh my goodness, you know what I mean? Just that, when I went home last night, as soon as you heard that, boom, doom, 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 you knew it was on. He'd open that door, and my dad had a Jerry curl back then, and he'd pop in there, and he had all them damn muscles with the Jerry curl and the fishnet little tank top, so you know, he really thought he was something, you know? And he just come right in there, boom, kick a kid in the stomach, and then the other kid, chop him in the throat. And whoever that third kid, they was just like wrestling. He'd pick you up and boom, put your ass through the table, then stand up over everybody. And back then, y'all remember, if you was smoking your weed, you had a clip with a feather off the end of it. He would whip his little shit out with his clip and he'd take a puff and say, now who the hell else want to act up? Meanwhile, I'm upstairs and my brother and sisters done got their ass tore up about something I done did. but I didn't get away though, cause after you smoked his little reefers, you know, he went into the Matrix. You know, I'm like, how am I getting whooped on my ankles, my ass, and my head at the same time? But the moral of the story is, I never did it again. Not that, I would do something else, you know, and we'd have to go through the same process again. But yeah, I mean, it was bad back in the day, but it was good. Like a great lady, and we're gonna talk about dogs, y'all. Y'all know I like to warm up the show and let everybody get in here. But you know, a great lady, her name is Stephanie Patrick. If you look her up, Stephanie Patrick, just beautiful. She now has a elementary school named after her. That's how influential she was, but she was just an incredible woman. And oh, y'all excuse me, I was supposed to put my freaking headphones on. I'm doing everything wrong, y'all forgive me. But Steph you know, Miss Patrick, I would never call her Stephanie to her face. But she was something special. And I'll tell you why. Because when I tell you this lady, and I'm fixing the headphones so they're connected to that one and not this one. But you know, she was a mom, and she was everything in the community. Like, so y'all remember those type of teachers that you would act up and the teacher would whoop you. Then they would walk you home to your mom, and your mom would whoop you for making the teacher walk you home when you didn't even ask the damn teacher to walk you home in the first place. And, you know, years later, I realized, you know what I mean? And I told Miss Patrick, I said, you know, I love you, and I know you must love me because she whooped my ass a lot, a lot. But as I got older, I also remembered, you know, it sound better without the headphones. All right, I took them bitches off there. Hey, I'm gonna take these off. If the headphones is messing shit up, let me take them off. Okay. Now, with I know that woman loved me because she put up with a lot of shit from me. But as I got older, you know, when you're young, all you remember is the ass whoopings, you know. And you remember the paddles. Like, she had paddles. She had a paddle with her name on it. But you know, when you get older, you also remember the hugs. You know, you also remember all the words where they told you that you're supposed to be better than this. You remember all the times where she said this is gonna hurt me more than it hurt you, and at the time you're like, bullshit, your ass ain't the one stinging, my ass is stinging. But as you become a parent, you realize these things, that what they are saying is so true. You know, it's so true. And I'm gonna go, I cut that shit off. But you know, man, we now have a generation where that there's no balance to that. And I'm not saying you gotta kick a kid's ass or whatever, but it's just no discipline. You know what I mean? It trips me out to go in the stores and see kids, you know what I'm saying, talking back to their parents. And you know, I wish I had my mama, but I tell you what, I have my grandmother. And happy birthday, Betty Quincy. She turned 91 years old on Monday, and the woman still talks more shit than anything. You know, she arguing. Y'all wonder where I get it from. She arguing with the folks because she want to work out, but she don't want to wear her oxygen tank. You know, like, is you serious? You know what I mean? Is you you're 91, grandma. You know, wear the damn oxygen while you work out. I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, what's going on, Brad? My man. But you know, it's just a different age and discipline, and I mean, and it runs in every direction. So I know we went the first 15 minutes of talking about this, which is not dogs, but hey, some of y'all, most everybody on here has kids, and we all know a kid, we all know a teen, we all know young men and young women who need some guidance, man. Take some time to be tough and loving with these kids, because they up against it right now. The world is ugly as hell, man. You know what I mean? Everybody is pushing. What's going on, Jonathan Alvarez? As y'all see, I've been repping his brand over here. Y'all check out Jonathan Alvarez on YouTube. He's got his channel, and he's doing some real inspirational things in recovery. You know. So, you know, everybody is going through different things in many ways, and he hits a lot of topics. So y'all check my dude out, man. You know, Rising Phoenix. I love when people doing positive things, you know. It's what we do. But I tell you what, you know, it's a lot of these kids who need it, one way or the other. I hope we got some parents out here who, you know, we'll let them know. You know what I'm saying? We'll let them know. I'm still from that tribe where we whoop a kid's ass and then you love them later. You know what I mean? As y'all see, my kids love me to death. They climb all over my neck. They you know, dad actually, you know, going through the legal shit. They called me out here a day early or whatever, but you know, I'm going to get the babies, you know what I mean, and I'm happy to get them. You know, I fought like hell to get the custody that I got, so hey, it's time to get them. But at the end of the day, you know, we owe it to these kids, every generation, to lead them and not let them lead us, you know. And right now, this is what you have, is just people pushing agendas through media, poison these kids' mind on so many different levels. And you know, it's sad that we would have a day where you have a country in fear because somebody with an agenda has put it in these kids' head to actually think of going out and shooting up your school. You know, never thought that we would ever get to that point, that today would be National Shoot Up Your School Day, and parents are terrified and keeping their kids at home because of what some idiots is doing. You know, it's a rough time, y'all. So, you know, I thought that was important with everything that was going on. It's been the BuzzFeed all morning. Here in Texas, they're worried. You see a heavier right now where I do this thing from, right down the street, right down there, about 100 yards down the street is a school, and right now I'm telling you, it's a heavy presence of police officers just all up and down here. I do this, y'all know I do this every Friday morning driving up here, and I mean, and I'm not even being emotional on y'all, but it's sad as hell, man, that you literally see, I see all these SUVs and these police officers, and you know, all worried because they very scared that some kid is gonna take his parents' gun to school today and something is gonna happen, you know. And this is where we at as a country, this is where we at as a society, that this is what we worried about because somebody decided, oh, this would be a fun day to make, you know. It's rough. But let's get to talking about what we talk about before I got shed a tear. You know what I mean? I might not have took my anti-estrogen pill today. You know, but it's all love, man. You know, I love y'all and I hope y'all doing good. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Holiday time, man. And I usually end the show with this, but I want to tell y'all, with this day being so dreary, y'all do me a favor. If y'all don't do shit else, today, when you hang up this, do me one favor. If you got a mom, call your mom. You know, if you got a aunt that you love, call her. If you got grandma, call her. Just call your people and tell them you love them, because our world is screwed up. And I had the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, to call somebody. Actually, it's calling about a dog, you know, but it's an older lady that I revere. I love her to death. She's very good, you know. And she was so happy to hear from me. I was calling to talk dogs, but we stayed on the phone for 4.5 hours. And we talked about life, we talked about dogs, we talked about love, we talked about football, we talked about everything, you know. And it was such a naturally flowing conversation. I never felt like that I was doing her a favor because I was getting information and everything myself. But, you know, at the end of the conversation, you know, she told me, she said, young man, I appreciate, you know, what you did for me today. And I was like, what you talking about, you know? Because I do call her periodically anyway, you know. But she said, you know, this time of the year, I don't have a husband anymore. I don't have, you know, anybody anymore, you know. She said my kids sort of stay far away, and I know they get caught up with their life, and everybody caught up with their life. But she said, you don't know what it's like when you reach a certain age that you can't move like you used to move, do the things you used to do, and your house becomes sort of your prison. And even the people that you've dedicated your life to loving, they just really don't find time to give you a phone call and to be a part of your life. And it was funny because she was saying this, but she was still saying at the same time, like, I do understand they're adults and they have their life, but let's not ever forget the people who put their lives into getting us here to where we at, that they should also always remain a part of our life, and we should find a little time to tell them they love them. Because, you know, a lot of elderly people, you know, their house is their prison in a lot of ways. you know, and it ain't nothing. And I know we don't feel like that. I love my granny. Sometimes I don't call as much as I'm supposed to call, you know what I mean? And my man, I just text you. You know I'm crazy, man, and I be up all night. I ain't want to text you in the middle of the night, but we got it all the way together. But you know, this is something that, you know, we did the whole first 20 minutes on everything but dogs. But anyway, but yeah, y'all reach out to y'all folks and y'all let them know y'all love them, man, because yeah, like I say, a lot of older people, that they appreciate your call so much. And woo, if you stop by, you know, if you stop by with a little bag of Chick-fil-A and sit there and listen to the stories, it's gonna be worth your time, because older people always got that knowledge that don't come in the book, you know, dead serious. Now, amongst the things, you know, in our conversation, it leads to dogs, and it was a funny week, because y'all know I showed my ass last week talking about BB King and Freddie Mercury and Johnny Cash and how they showed their ass at nationals. And of course, you know, I got the retorts. I got people who wanted to say something, and they wanted to get at me, and they were, oh yeah, and Terrell just be hating and here. I could give two shits. Let me tell y'all, I appreciate when y'all take up for me, but the reason why I don't engage when those people talk is because it's sort of fruitless at this point in time. Because okay, yeah, Belinda, I'll be hustling this weekend, so I'll call you. I'm gonna be at the hotel for most of the weekend, getting the stuff straight with the kids. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, much love, Ive. I appreciate you. Now, this was ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? Because what I say about anybody's dogs, y'all know me. If look, Hall of Fame Pits is my Facebook. True American Bully is my IG. Now, I might not get back to you that day, but I always try to get through the messages. And don't be afraid, if you've messaged me before, to bump your message back to the top. I get over 300 messages a day, but I love to talk dogs. If you want me to break down your dog, and I'm telling y'all this in all seriousness, send me some pictures. If you got a pedigree that you thinking about or something like that, you know what I mean? Send me the stuff, you know? And I don't mind looking at stuff real quick, you know, shooting you whatever I got to shoot you or whatever. But I do feel like, you know, the community doesn't help itself enough. But when I get on these dogs, I get on these dogs for the true purpose. You know, if your dog look like you rode the dog all the way from Florida, you know what I'm saying, to Texas, and his back is sinking in, you really don't have a lot of nerve to talk. You know what I'm saying? You really don't have a lot of, hey, what's going on, Phil? You really don't have a lot of room to talk about anything. See, so many times we get in this habit of talking about hating. This person's hating, that person's hating, this person's hating. This is a competition, you know? This is a competition. And one of the things I want to stress to everybody, you know, is that we're not just competing against the American Bully, we're competing against dogs everywhere. And you know, I've talked to so many great dog people this week. It's amazing. I've talked to, you know, I don't like to say people's names on here, but I talked to a fine gentleman yesterday, you know, that does coon hounds and has had some experience with Belgians. We got a couple good laughs talking about how high drive those dogs are. You get to talk, you know, I talk to a lot of Doberman people now. I'm actually importing a Dogo from Argentina, actually. And hey, aloha. Yeah, see now we got a live going. Once Hawaii jump in here, we got a live going now. But you know, so many beautiful dogs, and this is where we have to get our mindset to. We have to get our mindset to that you're not competing against, you know, the American Bully, because the American Bully is very easy to compete against because you are allowed to do anything at this point in time. So you're not really too much worried about the American Bully, but what you are worried about, or should be worried about, is the fact that, you know, we have to compete on a international level against all breeds. And you know, talking to several people who do like the one gentleman was a UKC judge, the lady that I talked to is a retired AKC judge, and our breed is looked at as a joke by most people because of the basic things that we don't do, like the health and the conformation of the dogs. This is a growing problem, and this is one of the things that we're going to talk about today on this live here, finally getting into dogs, is, you know, as our road goes, you know, and I am seeing y'all messages. So Baywood, absolutely right. You know, the promotion of the unhealthy dogs is crazy, you know. But, you know, how do we fix this thing? You know, and you know, absolutely. Rico, if y'all don't know Rico, Rico is a friend of mine. He's going to be a judge. He's really my main go-to guy on this weight pool thing that we trying to start. Rico is very, very knowledgeable. He can give you some pit bull knowledge. He can give you some American bully knowledge, but flat out, he can give you some dog knowledge. You know what I mean? Y'all seen Pit Bull Bell? That's Belinda. She's a judge with us. You know what I mean? Knowledgeable people who, by the way, don't have their head stuck up their ass and will talk to you and will help you if you have a problem. You don't have to pay. I'm just speaking for them too, because I know them well and they're not going to be offended. You don't have to pay Rico if something is wrong in your yard. You know what I mean? And you don't have to pay Belinda if something is wrong and you need to talk to her. If you call and you tell them, hey, you know, I'm such and such, I got this problem. If they are in a position where they can answer your message at that time, I know for sure, well, both of them will get on the phone with you, but Belinda quick to pick up that phone and she will try to help you figure out whatever you got going on. You know, this is the type of people that we need. You know what I mean? This is the type of people that we need. And they'll do it more. I think I know Belinda has a IG. I don't know if Rico is on IG. I think he is. We got so many damn social medias. I know they on social media. I don't know where they at. You know, I'm the guy walking through the neighborhood just knocking on the door. You know what I mean? But Rico and Belinda, very, very knowledgeable. Y'all see when we get on the podcast. I want to tell y'all this. Keep it bully. Got a whole platform over there all about dogs. That's my man Tyler. I'm giving all my folks shout outs right now. But Tyler got a whole platform that's unlike Facebook or any social media out there. He built this platform for the community. He's not charging you to get on the platform and all of that. You can get on there and talk dogs. You can post dogs for sale and not worry about people knocking your stuff down. As the community builds, you'll see it's more and more people on there that's just real dog people trying to give dog information. You know what I mean? And that's going to be a serious thing, you know. Belinda and Rico, if y'all have IGs, please post them. But I know you can find both of them on Facebook, no problem. But I'm pretty sure Belinda still has hers. I can't remember if Rico has an IG or not. We always talk on Facebook. But great knowledgeable people with decades of experience. So I guess we giving up ages now. But I got decades of experience too. Belinda Moore, she just posted her stuff. Belinda Moore, go check her out. But that's the one I told y'all that you can't fool her with, you know, all these pit bull experts. Can't fool Belinda. I just tell y'all like that. When, you know, the guys that y'all read about and all that shit, Belinda knows them. You know, Belinda knows a lot about the pit bull breed from the root to the toot. You will not fool her with any BS, you know, where these guys get in there and talk. You know what I mean? It is something else. Keep it bully. It's a bully breed forum. And like I told y'all, I need to go and do more. I've been so busy, I haven't been on there. But Tyler built that himself for the breed. You know what I mean? And it is real. It's like, if any of y'all remember the old MSN boards, that's how that forum is gonna be. So I beg y'all. You know, we got 53 people on here. By the time it's done next week, it'll be 1,500 to 2,000 that's watched this video. Go over there, you know what I'm saying, to my man's page and sign up for the forum. I promise y'all, I'm gonna be there a lot more, but you're gonna have good dog people coming in there talking about good dog things, unlike a lot of the BS that we see on Facebook and other places. And the best part is you can log in and you don't have to do a bunch of social media stuff. So y'all please do that, because he's doing something that's positive for the community. And that's the guy I told y'all that's like a professor, man. He studies this stuff, and I just, I'm excited for him to get it going, man. So I'm just introducing y'all to some of my resources, but the main thing, is that you know what I mean. See, I love it. Put it right on the home screen. Yeah, I got to get in there. But what what I'll say is this. Where we're at as far as the American bully is, we have to be, hey, don't be afraid to start topics. Y'all see what the man telling y'all, and maybe this is a topic. How do we fix the American bully? If you have, a lot of y'all here have already taken the first steps to where y'all already have decided, I want to do clean bullies. I want to do more athletic bullies. You know what I mean? Y'all seen my man, tap in from the state of Washington. And like I said, I don't shoot out everybody's name. But, when I talked to him, very, very interesting gentleman, cool ass dude. But his goal right off top was to have a different type of bully. He wanted something that could move, that had some drive. He wanted a serious dog. You know what I mean? Much like that boy that I had, the boy that I sold, Messiah, and that's music to my ears, because these dogs need to be going in the direction of athleticism and more drive and be a better breed. Now we're at a point to where the American bully, let's not play with ourselves in any shape or fashion. The American bully is literally 10 different breeds now. And I'm not saying the breeds that are mixed in. It's just when you start talking about the dogs, you look at the pockets. I can show you maybe 3 to 4 different solid variations of the actual pocket. I might be able to show you 5 variations of the standard. Then we get into the fact that they still say they have a classic. Then we get into the XL, and now the XL has turned into a situation to where it used to only be like 2 types of XLs. It was either the real XL, which was more like Nemesis and some of the other dogs, but you had the big dogs, which was like your Camelots and your Big Blues, and you sort of lumped them in the same category because they were actually originally made for a lot of weight pull and some some protection work type of thing. They were big dogs, more Mastiff type of dogs. Well, now we've gotten into a whole nother level to where you still have the sort of Camelot type of dogs. You still have the original XLs, which seem to be falling out of favor with people. Then you have sort of a bullier XL that's like a bulldog type of XL, where it meets the height requirements, but it just looks like a big ass bulldog. And then you get these ones that are what people want to call the double XL, where these dogs range in weight from 170, 175 pounds. Rico's IG is real 8835. Real 8835. Now this is a problem because you can't have this many variations in one breed. And one of the bigger problems is the blending of all these genetics, which obviously all of these genetics come from different dogs being lumped into side of one breed. So say if we started the XL, it's an obvious, now I know a little bit about dogs, as y'all know. If you're gonna push, which is a band dog, let's be realistic, these are band dogs now. If you're gonna push these dogs towards, say, 200 pounds, which seems like the benchmark with the double XL. Everybody wants a 200-pound double XL. In the canine world that we live in, there are only a few dogs that can obtain that type of mass, and especially that type of mass to influence another breed to pull it to that type of mass. And of course, to keep it short-haired, that narrows it even more. You would be obviously looking at the Neapolitan Mastiff. That's where a lot of the Big Blues came from. Then you would be looking at the English Mastiff. You know, that's where really a lot of these dogs get their sheer size from. Now, you know, there is talk that some people added in South African Boerboel. I don't know. But a lot of South Africans typically don't carry enough size to influence a smaller breed to pull it up to 200 pounds. So you wonder, you know what I'm saying? You wonder, Belinda Kingmore on IG. But you wonder, you know, what are the effects and the influences. Now this is something I'm going to tell y'all because it was a great conversation about putting the dog together. And this is something that, you know, we dog fanatics, so you'll study it. Study the purpose of the Neapolitan Mastiff. If you study the purpose of the Neapolitan Mastiff, this is a dog of absolute war. This is a dog that a lot of people believe, you know, oh, the wrinkles are for aesthetics. No, the wrinkles have a purpose. The wrinkles on a Neo is for protection, because this dog was meant for war. This dog was meant to battle with other things that want to bite him. This dog was meant to take some shots. The reason they have that loose skin is as a defense mechanism. You might grab my loose skin, but you won't get to the body. You won't get to the arteries. You won't get to the bone. You won't crunch me up. You can have the skin, and some of them's skin is loose enough that they can still turn and hit you with that impressive bite that most mastiffs have, and this is what they were built for. This is a dog of war. This is not a play around dog. This is not a lap dog, of course, with the size that they carry, but this dog's mentality is different. When you start to play with that dog and put it into a dog who's not supposed to have that mentality, you're creating something that's under false pretenses. You're creating something that does not belong in the American Bully breed. Even the XLs, although they all have a little more drive because they're Mastiff mixes, they're not supposed to have the type of drive that a Neapolitan has. Now, then you take in a dog even like the English Mastiff. The English Mastiff, not so much as the Neo, but he has a different temperament. Now, outside of his temperament, one of the issues with both of these dogs that you bring into the picture is their health issues. Both of these dogs carry unique sets of health issues, and you will see this in a lot of Mastiff breeds, and some of the people are wondering why these issues are trickling down. The enlarged hearts is one thing. These are massive dogs. Their hearts take a pounding. Their hearts have been genetically reprogrammed from the pounding that they have taken over the years. They have a different cardiovascular system. Their cardiovascular system is built totally different. If you're putting that in a dog now, that is not the same dog that system is built for, and the genetics are starting to mesh, you wonder why some of these bigger dogs, you keep on seeing people say, oh yeah, he died pretty young, he died pretty young, he died pretty young. You're messing with a part of nature that was not calculated. It was not a chance to stretch it out and see any results. So now you have a lot of XL dogs who have enlarged hearts. You have a lot of dogs who have the stiff hips, the joint issues that come along with Neos. If you talk to people who own the very large dogs, all of them end up sort of broke down with these hip issues, some elbow issues, definitely heart and cardiovascular issues. They're big dogs. One of the things with the Great Dane is the Great Dane's life expectancy, although they will tell you on the thing they say 7 to 10 years, most of them don't make it 7 because their hearts, they have weak hearts. You know what I mean? It's been known for a while now. You know, that's a community that does do a lot of strict cardiovascular testing, but it's a known thing in their dogs. That's like every dog you go to is something that jumps off the map right now that, hey, make sure this dog doesn't do this, or make sure that with a lot of the toy breeds, you want to make sure that the dogs aren't epileptics, that they don't have a lot of seizures and different things of that nature. With a lot of the big dogs, you want to make sure that it's not joint issues or cardiovascular issues. Now, this is one of the problems, and y'all heard me say this over and over and over again, is that, and I'm sorry I missed a few of those messages, y'all. I'll pay closer attention. But we also go to a secondary thing, and if y'all look, it's a video that I'm sorry, it's actually on there. I need to let it through to the page. But my daughter, she's at Ohio State. She's my daughter. I say she's my daughter, but she's actually my son's longtime girlfriend, so she's still my daughter. But anyway, she had put up a post, and yes, we're all fanatics. So just like my son's a fanatic, she's a fanatic. But her lifetime goal in her studies is to study the manipulation of genetics, to manipulate the genetics of wild animals to see if they can become more basically civilized. Which I know some of y'all are like, oh, that's just crazy, but this is the way things work. It's a lot of medical advancements that we don't even think about. Like, we talk about what's crazy and what's impossible, but think about it. As you sit there in a world of billions of people, I can take your eyelash and I can identify you apart from billions of people. So if you wanna know how far medical advancements come, just think about that. DNA testing in itself. We've seen mice have ears growing on their backs. They've now said that they've grown a lot of different organs in labs. They've done a lot of different things now that are crazy. So, the idea of a baby girl, this is her study. I told her, I was like, that's some crazy shit, but I didn't want to deter. I said, if you can make a lion where the lion, is chill and act like the Rottweiler or some shit, maybe this gonna be all right, But that's a lofty goal. But there are already studies into this, because the way, and I understand it some because that's some of what I studied when I was in med. But we've already got to a point to where we can locate the certain behavioral things. You know what I mean? Oh yeah. Tyler just went into that the vets aren't surprised by the unhealthiness of the dogs because it's a ton of dogs mixed, and that's a hell of a topic, and we're gonna run into that. But I'll finish this one. I'll tell you, they've already discovered parts of the brain with where our activities in our brains is, whether it's an aggression thing or an anxiety thing. They can tell which parts of the brains are lighting up and which parts of the brains are controlling these different things. So to already be to a point where you can control behavior through medications, which hemispheres that the brain is coming from, you're advancing further and further towards the ability to actually genetically make animals that behave a certain type of way, and it's already been some success in certain animals to do it. So in that process, people, and I said all that to say this: people, we believe that genetics are very, very simple. They're not. They're not at all. Every breed of dog that's in existence has actually went through a battery of genetic testing that might not be in the lab, but actually in front of the breeder. The breeder, if you've ever had a breeding program, an actual breeding program where you now start to pump out generations, you'll see certain things that go wrong with your dogs. Sometimes you may see certain things that go dramatically wrong with your dogs, and you see certain blood combinations that's like, wow, these dogs all came out. And y'all, excuse my verbiage, I don't ever mean to be offensive, so I try to do it. But it was a dog back in the day, and I won't say the dog's name because they get offended, but he was a Cairo son. And for whatever reason, his owner, every time he was bred, he would pick up the phone, hey, are all the puppies all right? Are all the puppies all right? And we would be like, why you always ask that? You know what I'm saying? Why do you always ask that? Well, we found out. This particular dog, for whatever reason, His puppies, especially line bred to Cairo, would have some of the worst deformities ever. A friend of mine's down there in Florida had a litter with him, and the dog actually produced a litter where I guess, you know, you would just say that the puppies were mentally undeveloped. I'll use that term. And I'm talking about these puppies were growing. They could eat now. Don't get me wrong. They could scoot over to the mom. They could eat, but that's it. Like, they never really stood up. They like stayed as 1-2 week old puppies. Even as 8, 9, 10 weeks old, they opened their eyes and stuff, and they would like sort of just, you know, but they didn't do anything. And we thought maybe, okay, at this time, like, okay, maybe that was just a bad mix. Try another bitch. Same thing happens. Finally, we saw it with a different blood, and it sort of worked. But come to find out that this dog had thrown hermaphrodite puppies. He had thrown puppies that were they had both sex. You know what I mean? It was a male and a female puppy. He had some, like, you know, puppies born with one leg, different things like that. This one particular dog, it was like he was a mesh of genetics that created genetic mutations left and right, you know. And first we thought maybe it was just him, but we started to notice a pattern early. Some of the stuff that the Edge family won't tell you, or maybe they do now that everybody can't stand Dave. But with the Edge blood, it was a lot of lies. And some of y'all have seen and heard me tell y'all this before. Certain dogs really didn't exist. Certain dogs were other dogs, like, you know what I mean, front man, so to speak, like what we talked about with Magoo, where Magoo was actually the front man, but the dog, what his name, Mango, was the actual producer. Well, that happened with Cairo a lot. Cairo, you know what I mean? Y'all, you know, when John gets to feeling better, John will be the first one to tell y'all the dog East Coast Man did not exist. If you look back on any pedigrees and you see, and East Coast Man is on quite a few pedigrees. He's so far back, most of y'all won't know who he is. But that was actually Cairo, and a lot of other breedings that came out of the Edge family were Cairo. So if you ever hear the story, or not story, but you hear that theme where they say if you breed Edge dogs together, you start getting kink tails and you start getting other little issues, and the dogs start getting smaller. What happens is that you believe that you're line breeding, but you're actually inbreeding, because it's a lie on what's on that paper. The Edge line itself is so heavily Cairo. It's ridiculous. Dave Wilson was literally obsessed with Cairo, literally obsessed with him. And this is one of the reasons why, if you start talking about Little Roe and why Little Roe came out so small, you know, it was a lot of things that were very tightly bred. Here, look at Pitbull Bell. Yeah. See, so, hey, you get some of these, or you get some of what y'all call us old heads. You get some of us together, and we gonna laugh at some of these stories, because we know who was who and who wasn't who, and it's comical now, but it still affects the genetics that we see today. But I tell y'all, throughout those failures, what we did start to understand is that genetics are not as simplistic as you think they are, you know. And I think I touched on this last week, but I'll touch on it again. We saw how inbreeding can change genetics, right? And the way that and I'll go into my education part, but the way that our genes are bred, right? Our genes are bred for absolute survival. There it goes. I do believe. Okay. I'm sorry when that screen freezes. It does not matter how many times I tell people that I'm doing morning lives. The people who know that I'm doing these lives just feel like I gotta call you about something random. Like, dude, the phone is hooked to the live. If you start blowing the phone up in the morning. No, it wasn't YouTube. It's just people, man, they will not, I don't know. No matter what, man, this phone is gonna ring. I tell them Friday mornings we doing lives. Somebody just, I got a call right now. I got a call. No one's gonna answer it. It's just gonna freeze the live for about 30 seconds. But I tell you the truth, man. Look at here. The one thing that we found, and let me get back on track. Uh, the one thing that we found out about genetics that aren't simplistic in the dog world, and which I also understood in school, and y'all will hear me tell y'all about this, is our genetics are set for survival, right? No, if that happens, that means somebody called. Y'all just hold tight for about 20 seconds and it'll reset itself. But our genetics are made for survival. So what'll happen is that, say for instance, there's a certain level of inbreeding going on, you know, and this has happened in people, this has happened whatever. The genetics will actually contort themselves in a way to defense against the things that are going wrong by the genes getting too tight. So basically what I mean by that is that some of the deformities that you may see in bones and different things like that, a lot of times the genes are also mutating in a way, and that's a secondary thing to protect your heart or the brain or different things of that nature. As the body starts to try to fight off what's being done wrong by nature, it'll be results. You know what I mean? It's almost like when they talk about how our bodies work with sex. You know, in sex, you know, the blood that is used for a man it comes from your brain and your feet. You know, so you can't run and you can't think. They knew how to get us. Well, our genetics are the same way. We do everything that we do everything that we can to survive. Well, the breeds are made the same way. And what I mean by going not being so technical about it is that if you have a mastiff is built differently, not just in the obvious its size, but it's built differently the whole way through than a Chihuahua would be. They have different issues. They have different things that are going on. That's why their genetics are totally different. And and we just think, oh, it's a good gene for the hips or it's a good gene for the elbows. Genetics are far more complicated than that. And when you start mixing a bunch of different dogs, now you're basically playing with fire that you may or may not blow some shit up. So if you're a chemist and you just keep throwing shit in the pot, something's going to blow up. This is the way genetics have worked. Because keep in mind, as I went back before we got interrupted with the phone call, keep in mind, right, that it's been hundreds of years in some breeds. The Rottweiler, as I told y'all, they used to be blue. They had a version of blue because it's a dilute of black. So of course it came up. The mahogany that Rottweilers have. There are some Rottweilers that have had pure mahogany coats. Some Rottweilers have had white in their coats. You know what I mean? And I tell you what, you know what I'm saying? The one thing I can tell you is that those genes were so perfected throughout time that it wasn't just the color genes that changed. It was the dog's total genetic makeup that made that dog a fine-tuned animal, to the point that where they all start to look alike. Their genes are changing in a way that this is this dog's survival now. And it's a map of millions of different variations of things catered to just this one animal. Now we say, oh, it's a dog, you should just be able to mix it. Keep in mind, millions and millions, billions of genes connected so that this dog's one survival and that he can be a certain way. Meanwhile, the German Shepherd, billions and billions of genetic material there so that this German Shepherd can be the same way that he is. Very strong genetics. Now, people don't believe in this, but it studies on this and it shows this, that you can have what is, you know, at times been termed genetic infighting, that where, say you bred a Rottweiler with a German Shepherd, they're both programmed for different things. What can happen in this process of this coming together is the genetics sort of fight each other. And there's also these gaps of things that have been suppressed. Now, the suppressions are good because the suppressions in genetics, even though the material is still there, the suppression in these genetics are for our own good. You know what I mean? It's the things that regulate our bodies, that regulate our looks, that regulate all the things that we need to live. Well, everybody's suppressions are different. You know what I mean? see, the German breed wardens, they get your ass about that white on them dogs. You know, I told y'all I talk to people who know dogs. That's how I get my information. Now, the problem is when you mix these dogs, and let's go to the direct analogy that we're talking about, the Frenchie, right? And I think I mentioned this last week, or maybe I didn't get a chance to. But people believe that if you take a clean Frenchie and you take a clean English Bulldog and you take a clean American Bully, that's how you're going to make a clean exotic. Why didn't it happen? Why didn't it happen? Do you think that these exotic people, and they're dumb, but they're not that fucking dumb. Do you think that they started off with, have you ever seen an English Bulldog that's deformed like their dogs? I mean, a normal English Bulldog. Have you ever seen a normal French Bulldog that's deformed like their dogs? Have you ever seen, now I'm not talking about now. We see some bullshit now. But, you know, the old American bullies, you know, if you go back 10 years or whatever, did you see a bunch of deformed American bullies running around? The deformities that you see in the exotic is because of the combination of genetics that were never meant to go together. This is a genetic infighting that's going on inside these dogs, and it's causing these different abnormalities. Everything cannot be mixed. You know what I mean? In real breeders' terms, you know, if we seen that and we are playing with a set of closer genetics than each other, you would see, to take it to the most simplistic term, you might have two beautiful dogs and you put them together, and for whatever reason, you got 3 kids that come up with high rears out of nowhere. Well, the first thing that's going to happen to you is you're going to know in your brain, you can be like, hey, I can't do that again. Something went wrong there and I can't do that. Those genetics are not matching up. Imagine doing that times 1,000,000. This is what the exotic community has done, and it's some of what we see going on in the it's some of what we see going on in the American bully community now. Those backs that you see dipping in, those are deformities. You know, we already know that certain people are putting different types of bulldogs and different things into their dogs, trying to make them bullier, trying to do this. So one of the abnormalities that you have, if you look at a dog like BB King, Beanstalk, is that he's super wide, very, very wide. No breed carries this type of width. You know what I mean? He's wide. You know, big bone, super, super wide dog. That was one of the abnormalities that came out of it. But another abnormality that came out of it is his deformities. The way he's built, the way his back dips in, the way his rear is very, very stiff and straight. You know, you get one abnormality that you might like, just like we talk about with dwarfism, where you get the big head and the big bone, but at the end of the day, you got to deal with all the other issues. This is dog breeding 101. This is animal breeding 101. You know, in many ways, this is people breeding 101. Us as healthy human beings are not guaranteed to have healthy kids. Because although we don't look at ourselves like animals, and you know what I'm saying, hopefully when we make a kid, we did it out of love. It's going to be one of the L's, love or lust, but it had nothing to do with genetics. So when we get together, you know, I've never asked a woman, well, you know, or is your family prone to having diabetes, or is your family, do you have any little people in your family, or do you have, you know, abnormally large hearts in your family? I never asked a woman that. So whenever, whenever, you know, I did make a kid, you know, or risk making a kid, you know, I didn't know how my kids were going to turn out. By the grace of God, I'll have beautiful, healthy kids. But, you know, sometimes you see things where the genes will present themselves because it was underlying genetics that didn't mesh good between these two people, these two animals, or whatever it may be. Now, us as supposed to be gene manipulators, we're supposed to be taking indications from the things that we see in our programs, and this is why breeding programs are supposed to go a certain way. If we do one particular breeding, it's easier to mess up in this one breeding as you watch them grow and you say, ooh, That was a terrible thing. I seen these high rears pop up, or these dogs got a lot of heart murmurs. Why did that happen? And you start to whip out your notebooks. And I'm telling y'all think I'm bullshitting. You know, I keep notebooks everywhere. You know, I know yeah, I know but it was on sale, 50 cents. But you know, Rico said, hell no, when it's time, it's time. We ain't asking about no profiles on no. I know that's right. I don't know what. Y'all knew I had to talk about it. I don't know what's in Rihanna's genetic profile, but I'm trying to be in it. I don't know what we risking. You might make the world's hottest babies. That's what I'm thinking. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. You put a little cocoa in the... Y'all know what I'm talking about. But we ain't no guarantees. But I'm willing to risk it. Rihanna, you out there, I know you be watching. Just call me and stuff. We ain't got to do. If y'all see Rihanna, y'all tell her we ain't got to do this. We ain't got to keep going back and forth on the internet. It's time. I'm coming home. Now back to dogs. I tell you, you know, this is the way that genetics really work, y'all. And none of us are ever going to be perfect breeders. When I tell y'all that I've made dogs that I've had to pet home because they weren't of a certain quality, or things didn't go as I expected with a breeding, it's 100%. Alan Dennis. You know I'm crazy, but it's 100%, man, that I have had dogs, you know what I mean, that have come out. I say my worst deformities that I've ever had, I've had a couple clefts, had a couple cleft palates, and that was with Denzel to a King Kamali granddaughter, who also had very good blood on the other side. I mean, it was no reason for this dog to, you know, for that litter to go the way it did, but it did, you know what I mean? It did. You know, y'all crazy. The color contacts, and hey, Rihanna is more than some eyes, baby. More than some eyes. But but you know, when I seen these things happen, the one thing that I did, and I'm a notes type of person, you know, even with jiu-jitsu. That was actually my book for jiu-jitsu, by the way. But even with jiu-jitsu, I write down everything that I do right, that I do wrong, because that's the way I learn, you know, that's the way I was taught to learn. But in your breedings, you should be charting every single puppy, because you want to know the combination, what it gave you, what it didn't give you, and stop just saying, oh, you putting two fire dogs together, because this is the way actual breeding is done. A lot of people, and like I say, I have my man on here that deals with a lot of things with Europe and everything like that with the dogs. Well, several people on here. And the thing of it is that they'll tell you in Europe it's different. Like, it's no big rush to push puppies out. It's no big rush to say, you know what I mean, oh, hurry up, he's got to be, you know, he's ready for this breeding program, because it's a wait and see process. The dogs aren't, a lot of times the dogs aren't even approved to be bred until they're at least 18 months to 2 years old, because they have to go through all of the testing of their hips and this and that and the other. And it's a waiting process to see if this animal is of high quality. And that's where the charting process comes, because, you know, even those great breeders, you know, who've done some great things in other breeds, they'll tell you that we watch the process of these dogs growing, so that we can learn from these dogs as to what, you know, is going to be what, you know. And what's going on, G2G? Now, this is something that we have to do if we want to fix our genes, you know what I mean? And yeah, and when we talk about the exotic, it's almost like we dumb down the conversation, because they're starting to breed those dogs as soon as the bitch bleeds, she breeds. No matter how tough the genes are, no matter what they're seeing from the dogs, they're breeding it. And a lot of people ask me, you know, could the exotic be fixed and this, that, and the other? No. I'm gonna be honest with you. You would have to start the breed all over, and you would have to go through probably a 4 or 5 generation process to see how you could mix different bulldogs together without coming up with the deformities that you came up with before. You know, that's the only way. You know, now if we start talking about the bad genetics that are American Bully, like some of the Dax genes and different things like that, you can have a dog that has a dog with bad genetics in there. You just can't breed towards it. So for instance, if you have, say, a Dax grandson and he's very solid genetically or whatever, the best way that you're going to be able to go is to put a female that is, for one, not Dax blood, and for two, that is very clean and complements everything that you want out of this dog, and see how the genetics play out. Yes, you have a good probability of seeing your dogs come out very clean and being Dax great grandkids. A lot of people have done it, so we're not going to act like it doesn't happen, you know. But the problem is when you have people of the mind state that they're going to just keep on breeding Dax and keep on 10 times Dax. Well, you're going the other direction, because at that point in time, you know what I mean, now look at you. You've doubled up and tripled up on bad genetics that could cause you bad hearts, that could cause you bad hips, that could cause you a lot of other issues. And we always go into a zone of what I call the death zone. And what I mean by the death zone is that it's not a limit to how, let's say, screwed up. I'm trying to stop cussing so much, you know, because the kids starting to cuss like me, and I'm very hypocritical to have to tell them to shut the hell up. But you know, it's not a limitation on how bad the dogs can get. These people are showing you this. You know, we've really broken our dogs back down to a point that where they're having to come in with air conditioners, they're having to come in with coolers on them, they're having to be drug around in little red wagons. They're pretty much just like a little loaf of bread ready to be cooked, you know. And it's sad. They don't move, they don't do anything. The heat gets them going, you know what I mean. They ready to go ahead, pull him out the oven, let's throw him in the ground, his ass dead too. And it's sad, you know, but a lot of this has not, I don't believe, has been intentional, you know. Trust me, if these people had the ability to make a very clean dog that was super extreme and super big like that, and they could talk shit about it, they would. But they're so far into the game now, well, not all of them, let's just say that, but a lot of them would. But they're so far into the game now of how they're beat up and beat down that, you know, it's just no fixing a lot of things. Now, when you talk about the American Bully, there is a possibility of fixing some things. For one, you have options of a lot of clean dogs in the American Bully world still that have good genetics. And if you're starting your program, take those dogs that have good genetics and roll with them. You know, go with that. Go with those dogs that are going to push your genetics. You know what I mean? Yeah, the freaking first aid kits right there on them. They're carrying the alcohol, they're carrying the lemons, they're carrying the Pedialyte, the K-Row syrup. See, I know what's in the kit, you know. And it's sad that we've broken these dogs down this way. And like I was saying about the death zone, you have to wonder how far okay, for sure, Tony. You have to wonder how far can you go pushing genetics, because everything is an indicator. When you start seeing bones deform or different things like that, that's an indicator that you're going the wrong way. Now, sometimes you be like, shit, that means you done already got the wrong way. I would agree. But at the same time, we have to remember that when you see things start to change on a dog, that's an indicator that something's not clicking. And typically, if you breed a dog that has one deformity with a dog that has another deformity, it doesn't even have to be the same deformity. You're going to get more deformities. It's not that hard. One deformity equals another deformity. You know what I mean? You know, and when you, and I just seen that comment, you know, where they say that they lack breed type and they lack size. Let me tell you something. You can add size, and that's where the breeding up comes from. They always talk about the butt. It's no butt. It's no butt in conformation. Well, it's a Rihanna's butt, but you know, I ain't gonna talk about it. I know it's something wrong with me, but anyway, you know, I don't even know what the hell I was saying that. But but anyway, now they always say, but there's no deformities, but there's no but there's no breed type, but there's no breed type. And they're willing to let the deformities in because of the breed type situation. And I tell you, it's the stupidest thing ever, because the original process of making this breed was very, very simple. We made a lot of dogs, right? As we made a lot of dogs, it's the reason why, if you look back at the old pedigrees, right, a lot of the old dogs only had 1 or 2 siblings that you will find. That reason being is because you would get 8 puppies in a litter, and only 2 of them would really be bulls. You could see right off top that these other dogs were very, 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 very pit bullish. These dogs were pit bulls to their hearts. That's what they were going to be. That's what they were going to do. It was what it was. That's what you were getting. And so you would take the big dog, quote unquote, the breed type dog, and you would take another big dog, quote unquote, the breed type dog. And with those dogs, you would get closer and closer to your destination of having a bunch of bullier dogs. Now, see, in that process, you're only breeding up one gene. You're breeding up the gene that makes the dogs bigger, more full. You know what I mean? But you're staying on course as far as all of the health things that you have there. If nothing pops up, you're good to keep on going. As you start the process of adding skeletal, and I think that's important to say that, especially skeletal or organ defects, now you're going to the very root of the dog. Everything with that dog is like when you see a building go up and you see all of the framing and everything going up with this building. That's where it starts at. Strong foundation, you put all the framing up. Everything else is just cute shit that you add. But will it stand is all built upon the stuff that you see before the walls go up and before the windows go up and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? And right now what is happening is that the idea that we would sacrifice, the framing and the foundation of the breed just to put weight on a dog is absolutely ridiculous, and it's asinine. And no other breed believes this. Well, some people do stupid shit like that, but if you're talking about going in an AKC ring, a UKC ring, going over to, Europe, Colombia, any of these places, where they're serious about doing their dogs, they're never going to sacrifice structure for anything. I would rather have me a skinny bully than a broke down bully. And I mean that. If we was doing some kind of breeders challenge and you tell them, and y'all might think I would be at a severe advantage. You give me your basic UKC American Pit Bull Terriers. You give me your basic UKC American Pit Bull Terriers, right? And you give those breeders all of that extreme deformed shit. Within let's say 10 years, I'll destroy them. For one, their dogs are going to die off some. They're never going to be able to correct those issues. I'll be able to add size. I'll be able to see the puppy that came out on my litter and be like, damn, he's bigger than everybody. Let me keep him. Oh yeah, she's bigger than everybody. Let me keep her. Let's run them two together. Oh, they made a couple big ass puppies again. Let's take those little puppies and go to the other litter that had a couple big puppies. Over that 10-year span, by the time we come back and we reconvene, I would still have great dogs with great structure, but over this 10-year span, I've added 10, 15 pounds, maybe 20 pounds to their frame and have them looking a lot bullier. Meanwhile, your dogs are still broke all the way down to the ground, and probably worse now because they have that, deformed gene pool that you can't pull yourself out of. This is just simple. Don't feel bad. So many of y'all hit me and y'all inbox me and y'all feel bad because your dog is just not super bully. Consider that a foundation. Stop thinking that foundation has to be because the dog is huge. Your foundation is going to be your structure. Yeah, I had some Dozer Daisy blood back in the day. Some of the best fucking structure blood out there, and it was a little bit hot. Yeah, good shit. But too many of y'all are putting a lot of stock in the dog just being big. No, get. Hopefully, there we go. Yeah, I'm back talking again. I know I told y'all previously to stay. Oh my goodness. There it goes. I told y'all previously when it freezes like that to come back. Like I told y'all, everybody, they know I'll be on this thing Friday morning, but everybody got a call. You know, yeah. I'm trying to find a way to block calls. I don't. If anybody know how you can just shut your calls off and keep the internet on, see, it make it damn near impossible with the iPhone shit because they'll call through on the iPhone line, like the straight out. Oh, your phone wasn't working, so I just decided to put it through on the iMessage call or whatever that shit is. Like it wasn't working for a reason, damn it. But yeah, as I was saying, when it comes to your foundation type dogs, right? You always want to go structure and health first and build up from there. Because, like I say, adding weight to a dog is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. Even in my own yard right now, I have a few females. I have some big bitches now. Don't get me wrong. I got some big bitches. But I also have a few females who are very, very, like more terrier. They have the wide chest, but they don't carry tremendous girth. It's a simple solution. Take them to a very, very girthy male who still has great structure like them. You know what I mean? They'll pick up some of their daddy's girth, but they'll lose nothing with both dogs having great structures, unless it's a defect in their genes that makes them produce a flaw. Then I know not to breed those two dogs together, pet home all those dogs, and call it as a lesson learned. But the thing is that's very, very simplistic. If you have a program, don't be embarrassed about having a dog that's less than bully. I understand the pressures that have come from not UKC, but the ABKC, whereas you have to have a bulldog now, but you really don't. We really need to focus in general on our ability to make a cleaner dog more so than anything. Because as I told y'all, once you go into the ring and once you start doing the things inside the ring that is going to set to do not disturb. See, somebody help me out. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set that shit to do not disturb. I'm gonna figure I ain't gonna try to do it now. I'll probably hang up on all y'all. You know what I mean? Well, that's a good question. You know what I'm saying? When you get to talking about how many breeders are patient enough, patience is the key to all breeding, period. Everybody wants to have that hitter, you know what I mean? That they want to have that dude that's right now, he the best dog in the world. Everybody love him. You know what I mean? We big time because we got this dog. Everybody love him. Everybody love him. And it's just not realistic. It's not realistic that every breeding you're going to do is going to be a great dog. You might make nice dogs, but sometimes you're going to have to go through the process. And when I say nice dogs, some nice dogs could have been very popular if they was in the right hands and people promoted them, well. You have to take your time and build up through the foundation. If you look at somebody's program, like say for instance Marco Suarez, the one thing that Marco has been able to hold strong on is he has never gotten into a mass battle. He's never gotten into a situation to where he felt the need that, what, I need to go in here and add as much size as possible to my dogs because they're not winning anymore, because other people are in love with big, big dogs. Marco has never done that. And I think it's a great thing because he has set the tone in many ways for for keeping the dog clean and keeping the dog correct and keeping that look in the face that says American Bully. While others have given up on the look, Marco has pretty much profited from keeping the dogs with the proper look. You can't beat that. You can't beat it. Marco's been in the game now 20 years. Marco's been out there 20 years. And in 20 years, If you look at this stuff he's got right now, it's similar to what he had 20 years ago, but it all has a look. It all has an identity. All the dogs move well, very, very tight feet. He's doing the same thing over and over again. He's really built a true program, whereas a lot of people, you know, a lot of these breeders or so-called breeders, they're going to be fly by night. You're not going to see them for very long. You know what I mean? Like, don't be surprised. Like I say, you know, some of the breeders that y'all see right now, that's supposed to be the best breeders in the world, and they supposed to be big time, and they doing this and they doing that, and they, you know what I mean, they got all the videos and they dancing and, you know, all this other stuff that they doing. When it comes down to it, they'll be gone in 3 or 4 years, because it's like a conversation I had this morning. Y'all excuse me, I had to put my stuff on, running my mouth so much, lips getting dry. But it's like a conversation I had this morning, that many people get into this dog thing with these expectations, unrealistic expectations. Most people think that you're gonna be able to, you start doing that weird math, you know. Well, I bought my puppy for $2,500. If the bitch has, you know what I'm saying, 7 puppies, I'm gonna keep one, but I'm gonna get 15,000 off the mother off the mother 6 puppies. I'm gonna end up with 15,000. You know, and it sounds good, but it rarely works that way, because for one, the dog market, not the dark, but the dog market is very, very competitive. You will come to find out that if you are a young, unknown breeder, not just say young, meaning as young to the game, that a lot of people will, you know, pass you over, you know. They'll pass you over because they want to get dogs from more reputable breeders, which, you know, it makes sense that you know, we do that with other things, you know what I mean? Shit, I was looking for a dentist, and I tried to find the most reputable dentist I could find. I ain't want just anybody working in my mouth. But at the end of the day, you know, when you look at it, it's a situation that, you know, I've seen so many spirits be broken down, you know, because a guy have a litter and he can't sell the puppies, and he get to feeling sorry for himself and feel bad for himself. And you have to, excuse me, you have to do this for the right reasons. You have to produce, you know, with the mindset of having, you know, I'm going to produce quality, and let people come in and buy your quality, you know. You know, let people come in and buy your quality, you know. You know, I heard an interview, you know, with the late, great Michael Jackson. It's funny, we start off the show with Mike, huh? And Mike, you know, you know, they was asking him, and they said, you know, you went into the studio. And I don't know if y'all remember that story about when he made, which album was that? I think it was the Thriller album. But he locked himself in a studio, and they said he was in there, like, people didn't see him for months, literally. But, you know, they was asking him, like, did you think of how many copies you had to sell? And did you have to think of, you know, this and that and the other? Y'all know Mike with that voice. No, no, I never. But, but you know, but what he said was very, very strong in every facet of life. Because he said, if you are an artist, and us as dog breeders, we're artists, whether you want to say it or not, you're creating something, and you're creating something for its beauty, so you're really an artist. He said, if you're ever going to do anything, you know, you don't do it for money. He said, if you're going to be great at anything, you know what I mean? And that's basically what he was shooting at. Not don't do anything. We work and we want our money. But, you know, he said, if you want to be great at anything, don't do it for money. He said, because money does not motivate greatness. Passion does. You have to love what you're doing. You're creating because you're loving this. You're passionate about this. You want to see something happen that's great. This is why you do this. Later, people will pay you for it, you know? Later, people will pay you for it. Your greatness will be paid for, you know what I mean? And that's fine. But if you go into the thing and your whole idea is, I'm going to make a lot of money, you're missing the biggest part of the process, which is passion. And if you don't believe in it, how do you think the world is going to believe in it, you know? You know, how do you believe that the world is going to believe in what you do if you're not putting your best into it? You know, imagine being that breeder You know, not even a breeder, but maybe even a show handler. And I promise y'all, it's gonna happen. We're gonna get to a point where the TBKC has a big nationals, and we bring in people. And I'm telling you, I know I'm gonna sit over there and I'm gonna sip whatever I got in that cup, because I'm gonna sneak me some shit in after all I done been through. But and it's probably gonna bring a little tear to my eye to see one of y'all have a dog that's so beautiful that dog can go in there and stand there, and you might not win, who knows, but you can stand in there with other breeds with pride that you put together something that was sufficient and you really represented the breed. That should be our goal. One of y'all gonna do it. I promise you, one of y'all gonna do it. You know, there's dogs out there right now that I've seen that could go into a show ring and battle against the best. You know, absolutely. It's all about honing in on your craft. You know what I mean? It's all about honing in on your craft and getting a better understanding, because the longer that you breed dogs, the longer that you have dogs, it becomes like second nature to you. You start to see things in certain dogs. You see a puppy that's born and you be like, hey, that's the one. Whereas maybe 10 years ago, you wouldn't have known what to do in there. Your knowledge will keep on going up, but you got to believe in something, man. See, like when I get to talking dogs, I might start sounding like some kind of motivational speaker, but it's motivational to me. If you ask me, like those who really talk to me, they'll know I'm super competitive. You know, so now in my own yard right now, just speaking to y'all, you know what I mean? I go in the back, right? And I have this beautiful little King Kamali creation. She's a King Kamali granddaughter in the corner. And she's very thick, big boned, but her head is a little more terrier. Good size, but still the longer muzzle. And I bred her to Odell, and I see the belly getting big, you know what I mean? And I went over this breeding so many times. Now I see these cute little red puppies, maybe red tri puppies with these big broad chest, big bones, big heads. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And I already know what they're gonna make. I got a funny feeling I know what they're gonna make. They're gonna make dogs similar to Odell. Odell looks like Denzel more than he does Mandela, but he has more size. And then I go to the next one, and I got this Mufasa daughter. And when I tell y'all, this bitch is actually wider than Mandela, but she, you know, same thing. She's got a big head, but not the head that I like, so he'll put the head on there. But I'm thinking Mufasa, Mandela is 75% of the whole genetic makeup of this breeding. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah. And the whole reason it is really not to sell something, it's to fuck these people up. You know what I mean? Like when I see a dog and y'all can't even bring a good dog to nationals to beat this shit. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying y'all, but I'm just saying, like, now I'm on that mission. Now my guy CT Fletcher always says my magnificent obsession. I'm obsessed. You know, guys that tell you I'm on the phone till 2 and 3 in the morning sometimes. You know, because I'm a night owl, so I miss most people's calls during the day, and I talk all night. But I got this big bitch, you know what I'm saying? And she's big. Oh, she's big. 19 inches, shoulders big like mine. We work out together, and her genetics is big. And I've seen this before. I've seen it, and that's where things start to happen, because you've seen breedings that happen. You know how bloods click. So I know how a Camelot blood clicks well with my blood. I know how my blood is programmed to shorten up backs and to still give you the volume as far as the mass, but typically doesn't lose, you know what I'm saying, typically doesn't lose any conformation. So in my vision, and she's a very conformationally sound bitch, but in my vision, I'm just sitting there and I'm looking and I'm like, this shit could really create an 18-inch, 130-pound dog that's just massive, but damn near perfect in all facets of conformation. Maybe he'll go in the ring. Because see, the thing of it is I've talked so many years about, you know, breed this, breed that, and a lot of y'all got on my nerves, and y'all like, oh, do this, do that, which I have been producing dogs, just not at a large level. But I start to put these pieces together, and please understand that when I start talking about this, it'd be strange, but this is just the way my mind works. Now I want to seriously annihilate shit. Like for the next 2 or 3 years, I'm just gonna breed and keep stepping up the breedings. I got a Mandela daughter who's like gigantic thick, you know, super thick. She's short too, super thick, super thick. I mean, like Halle thick. And so I'm taking her to a Mandela son, who's probably Mandela's prettiest son. You know, he named Pretty Boy. You know, doubling up on the Mandela gene. And I always said if Pretty Boy was just 15, 20 pounds heavier, he would have been unstoppable. You know, which he still did his thing. You know what I mean? But with that being said, you know, it's competition based. Every breeding I do is competition based. And I know the one thing I know about all of these breedings is conformation will be on point. Now I'm just looking for size. I really want the whole dog community to think this way. When you do your breedings, you should be thinking about, hey, I'm gonna kick Terrell's one dog's ass. You know, I know my dog got a stronger rear, my dog got this, my dog got that. Conformation is on point. You want to just stand there and your baby is looking like a trophy. All of these breedings are really meant for other breedings. You know, like my ultimate dog will come another 10 years down the line. But every breeding I've done, you know, some of y'all asked about the Ganman breeding. Why would I breed Ganman? Why do you think? I mean, I made Ganman, by the way, but you know, the dog has absolutely perfect conformation. So when you taking a conformation dog and you add it to another dog that has very good conformation but genes to be thicker, you just gonna up the size more. And I'm just trying to make a version of Ganman now that'll be 15 to 20 pounds heavier at the same height, but with that type of rolling rip muscle and conformation, and bring the bully back to going there. And I don't care who y'all get, you know what I mean? You can get this dog, that dog. I'm not calling out these dogs' names, but you can get those dogs. But if you put a perfect conformation dog in there that's similar to muscle, fuck being bully. I'm bringing you perfect conformation. I'm gonna stand back. I don't show no more, but I do judge some. And y'all gonna see me, I'm gonna come in there cleaner than the Board of Health. I got a couple suits that I got measured up for already. I'm gonna be clean because I want to give, I look forward to giving an award to a beautiful dog. You know, it does my heart good when I can look over your dog and say, this is a bad baby here. You know, this is a bad baby here, because this is what it's about. It's the competition factor, not the popularity. You know what I'm saying? Popularity ain't shit. Popularity ain't shit. It ain't nothing against Kim Kardashian, but Kim is popular for being popular. Well, we know she do some other things, but hell, y'all know what I mean though. That whole family ain't really got a talent, you know. Well, maybe it's a talent, but anyway. You know, they do what they do, you know, and we live in a society where it's a lot of people who just famous just for being famous. Well, I don't care about nothing. It's just sad that our bully world has turned into that it, you know what I mean? Oh yeah, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. And then you break the DNA of the dog down and it's a bunch of banned dogs, you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of dogs who should have been kicked out of the registry. It's a bunch of flaws like the high rears or the bad tails or the bad feet, or the dog has a reputation for making bad hearts and all of these different things, you know what I mean? And what do? You know? Our society, our whole little dog society has been broke down. What? See, y'all know messages pop up later. I ain't wrong. Y'all know Kim did what she did. Hey, I ain't mad. I ain't mad at Kim. Kim ain't my favorite. Y'all know I'm in love with Rihanna. But ain't nothing wrong with Kim. Shit. Hey, enjoy yourself. I'm gonna enjoy myself. Everybody, see, one thing, I give y'all honesty. Everybody know I'm nasty. Every time y'all see me, I pop up with a new kid. Y'all, ain't no telling. Rihanna might show up pregnant. I didn't thought about her so much. First time ever. Just think it. They always say, put it in there. Put it in there. I didn't put it out there. But you know, oh, you know, sad part is my grandma watches this. My grandma watches this. And my grandma watches this thing. And I'm sorry, Grandma. See, when you beat kids when they little like that, you got to live with the repercussion. I think I'm suffering from the same thing they suffering from in the NFL. It's parts of the brain that are no longer there. Because when you were little, you know, Grandma, yeah, I'm going to talk about you on here. You know what I'm saying? You passed the indictment age. They can't indict you no more, Grandma. You ain't know that? Once you get 90, ain't no more indictments. Once you 90, grandma, you cool. But you know, grandma didn't, she didn't beat me. That was my mom and my dad with his WrestleMania ass. They told me up a little bit. But grandma, did y'all ever know, why is it that older people got the strongest damn fingers in the world? My grandma could pinch your soul out. She didn't even it wasn't like she had to get a nipple. Grandma could grab you by the arm and twist that, and your whole soul, y'all know that silent cry where ain't nothing then came out, but it's just like, man, like what you do that for? Your old ass fingers, you just, I hope when I get old, I got old, strong ass fingers, because I'm going to pinch the shit out of these kids. I hope my fingers I'm going to test my shit. I'm over 40 now. I pinched the shit out of one of y'all. I'm going to see if I got it, because oftentimes, but y'all ever notice that? Man, yeah, they call it, y'all see, y'all have old people strength. It is like some for real old people strength where they just grab, man, damn it. That's like my grandpa, gone, damn, he was like the claw. He wasn't even trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to shake your hand. What the hell you come around here, them damn steel mill hands for crushing bones in my shit. Come on, man, I'm trying to rub on Rihanna, now you got me running around here with a cast on. But yeah, my grandma could pinch you and change your life, man. My grandma get you with that, hold on now, and could hold you there. What kind of damn voodoo witchery fingers you got that I can't even move when you pinch me? Y'all know how you been pinched in your body, just do the whole contort, but they still got the arm and you just you dangling. She got you like a voodoo doll. Man, it was great to be a kid. Yeah, man, y'all know them steel mill hand, them old dudes was working. Shit. You ever had, man, look, y'all think I'm bullshit. I know we supposed to be talking dogs, but sometimes we divert and we have our fun. Look, go shake an old mechanic's hands. You won't do the shit no more. Go shake, if you know somebody who's working in a steel mill for years, or or worked on cars for years, or built houses, man, don't shake they damn hands. Now, I done lifted weights my whole life. I got powerful hands, but if you shake one of them dudes' hands, they will break your shit. Now, I don't know why grandma, maybe it's working them iron skillets. I don't know why grandma got them strong ass fingers, but chill out, granny. You ain't got to do it. You ain't got to do it. Right now, they'll put your ass in jail for that. You know, I had my soul pinched out. That's why I'm like I am. That's why I'm like that's grandma. I know I'm gonna hear from you later. This is why I like I am. You pinched a part of my soul out. Right now, it's a little part of my soul up under your fingernails. But you know, back to these damn dogs, man. Look. Whew. The thing, you know, it's gonna go back. And I'm gonna get back into this, you know, once again. Y'all have to make this decision as far as you build your thing to be competitive. You know, y'all gonna see me. I'm gonna be more and more. Poop gonna be on here next week. Y'all hear him saying D-line, D-line. But you know, the more you know that you go into this thing, be competitive about structure. You know, the whole point of this registry, and yes, some of y'all heard I fired everybody. I had to fire the techs. They kept telling me I got a whole new team. We here now. But the one thing that, you know, that my main goal in this registry is to promote, of course, great confirmation. And one of the things that I think that everybody has to remember is that we've been shooting for this super high window of, let's call it bulliness or thickness or whatever y'all want to call it. But we need to bring back the part of the standard to where your dog can actually be at the bottom of bulliness. And what I mean by the bottom of bulliness and size is that it can just qualify. For instance, right? So say, you know, we looking at this dog and like, yeah, he's bully enough, he's wide enough, he makes it, you know, definitely as a bully. This dog has incredible conformation, has a beautiful head and everything. He's just not super big. Now, if he's in the ring with dogs that have conformational issues, he's only got technically one thing that the judge should knock him for, and that's to say, okay, you a little bit, on the bottom of the bully side, so they're bullier than you, they win that part of it. Now, as I'm judging, I would look at this and say, okay, they've got you 1-0. Now, this dude's got a kink in his tail. He's not gonna win. You're up on him. You know what I mean? This dog has a high rear. You're up on him. I would rather see my judges present a dog that qualifies as an American bully but may not have a ton of breed type, but that definitely is has enough breed type to be considered. And they say breed type, so I'm using the word, but basically that means, is the dog bully enough? Breed type is actually the standard, is what actually does the breed type, but we change everything in the bully world. But I would rather see our dogs judged on that side, to say that, okay, a skinnier dog, let's say just skinnier, than some of the other dogs that has great conformation and great confidence. Confidence is a big thing for me. I don't want to see your dog's tail under his leg. He shouldn't be in there scared. You should be working with that dog enough that he's not scared and he's used to people being around and different things of that nature. But if that's all that they are beating him on, you know what I mean? We have to, we have to do that. What's going on, No Real? God bless, brother. We have to get back to the point to where these dogs were structured animals. It's the only way. It's the only way that the breed can survive. It's the only way that we can actually propel ourselves forward to gain respectability, not only nationally but internationally. All around the world, people take dogs very, very seriously, and we also have to get to that point in our show system to where this is the number one thing. Is there a confirmation dog in here that wins? Because let's not forget that this is a confirmation show. It's a confirmation show. It's not a who can be the biggest show. This is a confirmation show, and we have to get back to that point that this is the whole basis of everything we do. The whole basis of everything we do. A lot of you have beautiful dogs and complain about, I don't go to shows because they don't show me the respect that, and I understand that. Trust me, I understand it. I respect it. It's very, very real at this point in time that, a lot of you have had nice dogs and went out to shows and lost to a dog that was, somewhat of a train wreck. We have to take that stigma away from the breed, and we have to sort of reset the breed. We have to reset the breed to a point to where we expect the conformationally strong dog to win these shows. We can start presenting people, and I say we because, damn it, y'all, we need each other in this community. If you really love American bullies, like, I'm not gonna say I love American bully because I'm a little obsessed with them, but I know, my brother No Real just jumped on. I've shouted out my man Tyler Malone, True Love. He's got his family involved in it. Belinda Moore, Rico. These damn dogs have been their life like it's been my life, and there's plenty of other people that I can shout out. You know what I mean? And Northern Edge up there, D-Line in Canada. He's trying to get his thing together. My man Pope. I'm giving out shout outs. My man Dennis Allen is putting together a nice program out here in Houston. A lot of great people that are doing great things. My man Sniper keeps me up all night, and we talking dogs and studying. It's a lot of beautiful people doing some beautiful things with these dogs, man. And the thing of it is that we sort of have a small community, and we're disgusted with what we're seeing out here, in general. Aloha to my family out in Hawaii. I'm just giving everybody their flowers today, but it's a lot of people, not just, like I say, in the mainland of the states. We got Canada, we got Hawaii, we've got Bahamas, we've got Barbados, we've got Jamaica, we've got a lot of people here, Mexico, and the thing of it is that our first and foremost intentions with this thing is to make beautiful dogs and get respect. Who wants to just have respect in the American bully community? Why would you just want to have respect in the American bully community? You know what I mean? To just have respect in the American bully community is ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's like, you know, going into a race, you know what I'm saying? And basically, you know, you just gonna race against a bunch of toddlers. You know, it is up to us. Man, hey, Rohan, I don't want to kill you now. I might make you laugh, but don't die on me. Don't die on me. But you know, you know, we have to reset the standard. And I know sometimes I come off as very, very dramatic, y'all. But it's that we are resetting the standard. We are reinventing a breed now. The breed has been destroyed. It's enough dogs out here to where we can really start this process again and move it forward and have great things going on. But we have to reinvent this. I've asked y'all this, and it's not like I'm a professor or a teacher or anything, but take a little time and study, you know what I'm saying, the chart of the dog's different body parts, you know. And the reason why I say that is a lot of these people who are coming in, they're going to talk in dog language, you know what I mean? Oh, no, real. We're going to talk about the Merle next week. We're going to talk heavy about the Merle. You got to get I'm going to get your ass on one of these podcasts as soon as this stuff is ready. You know what I mean? But yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's a, you know, absolutely. Hey, keep it bullied, and hey, absolutely. It's up to us, you know, to do this thing as the right way, you know. And it's been happening more and more to where people are taking a stand against what they've been seeing in these breeds. Y'all take it from me, and I'll tell y'all very, very specifically that the TBKC has issues in Canada. They have issues in China now. They have issues in several places around the world that don't really want them there because of what they've been presenting. Several places, as y'all heard my man say, you know, you have breed wardens in certain places, and they're like, oh, this is not what we do here. We don't promote unhealthy dogs. We don't promote these things. And if we want our breed to survive around the world and thrive around the world, it is up to us who have knowledge and who have this passion to go forward to put things out there that's going to be the right way. You know, it's just that simple. You know, it's going to take time, you know, and this, I promise this will be my last analogy. But yesterday, right, and some of y'all know I do jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and all that good stuff. But now yesterday was interesting because the professor, who's actually a high-ranking okay, hopefully it puts me back on video here very shortly. I apologize. As I was saying, like I say, this morning is just one of the mornings where people just gonna keep on calling and but anyway, the professor, what he was saying is this. We were in class, and unfortunately what happened is out in Houston, well, one, you know, a dude whooped the bailiff's ass, whooped the woman bailiff's ass. The judge had to jump off the stand, literally, in court to help subdue this man. And, you know, that was one incident. Another incident is one of the sheriffs inside the jail, a female, got beat up and raped pretty bad. And it was an ugly week out here, you know. And, you know, he went into a talk because that's basically what he does. He trains them to defend themselves, and now it's getting, you know, more serious to where they're gonna let him do his thing, you know. But we were explaining to a new student process, you know, and talking about the process, you know, which is in jiu-jitsu is a long process, you know. Most times to get your black belt in jiu-jitsu, you're gonna be there a decade or more, you know. And the thing of it is that it's just a constant perfection, you know. And the further you go into jiu-jitsu, the more things make sense. So, and I'm not going to talk y'all to death about fight training or anything, but say for instance, when you first start in jiu-jitsu, you're trying to learn these locks, and you're so focused and your brain is going crazy because you're trying to remember, okay, lock this leg, you know, lock this arm down, and you know, this is how I gotta roll them, and I get them over, and all these thoughts is going to your head. Once you advance, it's not even a thought process anymore. You sort of just boom, lock, and now you got secondary thoughts that like where you know where, hey, if I grab your collar and pull you in, it's easier to roll you, these type of things. And I say all that to say this, you know what I'm saying, because I could go through that whole thing. But, you know, we went in deeper conversation about, you know, building and why it's not fast, you know. Just like we have muscle memory with every sports we do, and just like you watch your little babies and they go through that stumbling part and then they figure out how to get their feet up under them, everything and we do in our lives is repetition. In this breed, if we start having repetition of doing the right things, it will become more and more of what we do. We will teach other people that this is the way it has to be. The more that we see beautiful dogs being posted with great, you know, with great confirmation in videos where they can actually shut their mouths and don't look like they're dying, you know, dogs that move, and we can talk about, you know what I'm saying, putting something on their back and just letting that dog move and see if it fall off because he moves so smooth. And then trust me, I've done it to a couple of my dogs. Castro was one of my dogs that I could do that to, where I could literally, I could get a decent amount of walk with him, with put like sitting a Coke bottle on his back or something like that. Not the glass ones, but the little 22-ounce plastic ones. I could sit it on his back, and once I started his gait, he could move smooth enough that that bottle wouldn't fall off for a while. You know, things like that. Seeing the pictures and really understanding our educational process in this breed. And before I got cut off, that's one of the things I was telling y'all, is that it's very, very easy to find a chart of the body parts of the dog. You know, it doesn't have to be an American Bully, but understand these body parts, because as these other people coming into the breed, they're going to talk to you about, you know, different body parts of the dog, and they're, you know, and they're not trying to show you up. This is just the way that they understand dogs. They understand the dog, everything starts with the feet. You know what I mean? Everything starts with the feet. You know, that's the foundation. So they, you know, they'll get to breaking down the bones in the feet. They'll get to breaking down the functions and the things that could happen if your dog has this type of feet or that type of feet, and why it's important to keep the nails properly done, and this and that and the other, and this and that and the other. And I'm not saying that our community is stupid. I'm just saying that we're not as far educated as we should be. And a lot of us consider ourselves to be breeders, where there's hobby, or whether you're hobby/professional breeder, to where you say, I got to make me enough money to make this worthwhile because I'm spending too much money. That is all fine and dandy. But the thing of it is that also be an educator. Also be the type of person that when it comes, got to keep them nails trimmed. Also be the type of person that when you sell somebody a dog, you can be a lifetime reference to them as to what to do with their dog, how to breed their dog if they want to breed their dog. You know, being able to understand and explain everything that's behind your dog. If they are in a crunch, don't just leave them after they spend money with you. Can they call you and say, hey, my dog is sick, man, and this is going on and this is going on? And it don't matter if they bought the dog 5 years ago. Our community has to start behaving more like other communities do, and getting better at it. You know what I mean? And getting better and better and better at this thing, because ultimately, you know what I mean? Well, yeah, and Rico hit it on the head. A lot of people just don't care. And that goes to that theory of when you see people who won't post their dogs from the side, you know? That goes to that. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of those people who just, you know what I'm saying, hey, repeat adopters. That's I get a lot of those. I get a lot of the people who got 2 and 3 dogs from me and don't ever plan on breeding them at all. You know what I mean? I love that aspect, because it lets me know that my dogs have been good to them. My dogs have been great family pets for them. My dogs haven't got them running back and forth to the hospital all the time, and they enjoy the product. And ultimately, you know, Keep It Bully hit it on the head with the term adopters. 90% of these dogs should generally always end up being pets anyway. You know what I mean? We're not running a race to put out as many dogs as possible. We run a race to make this breed as best as possible as we can, you know. Nail issues. I couldn't see the question, but the one thing is stay on top of the nails. You know, stay on top of the nails. Even if you've gotten them pterodactyl claws, if you stay on top of them, eventually you can get them back to where you need them to be. They might not never be perfect, and the wick get too long, but you can get them back. You know, I've had a couple that I rescued that came in and their nails were way too long, and I got their nails back. You know what I mean? It was a hassle, it was a fight and all that other shit, but we got it back. You know, but ultimately, you know, we just have to get back to a point where I don't care if they tell you hating or not, but educate yourself, educate your kids, and anybody else who's gonna deal with your dog to know how the dog is supposed to be built. So when you see a dog and his back is all screwed up, that they can't just tell you anything, you know? Okay, I'm glad you on here, Belinda, and I'm glad all y'all on here. My squad to get all the questions that I didn't see. But once again, I'm gonna tell y'all this. You know what I mean? Go to the Keep It Bully forum. You know what I mean? Go over there, sign up. You know, because a lot of the questions that we asking on here, that's a great forum to ask the questions and start a topic over there. And the more of us that get in there, you know what I mean, it's going to be a great thing because we get the opportunity to answer questions, share information, and be a part of something special. You know, you can always ask it on these videos, and you can always, I tell y'all, even later after these videos go up, just jump on the comments and ask the question, because it tags a lot of these people on here, and a lot of these people to jump right on there and answer your question. But you know what I mean? Hey, Tyler, if you can post, I don't know if it'll let you post a link, but tell everybody how to find the forum. I'm terrible. I've been and had y'all somewhere, y'all mess around and be on Pornhub or something, looking at fake Rihannas. I don't know. No, I don't deal with that kind of stuff. No, not me. But hey, look, I was waiting for somebody to laugh. That'll work too. Now look at it. What is wrong with you freaks? I am a good spiritual and religious man. I do not partake in such things. Not on Sundays. But anyway, you know, it's going to be a lot, man. It's going to be a lot of work that we're going to have this upcoming year. Some of the goals, you know, as we winding down on these things, and y'all forgive me, I'm gonna take this cough drop out. I'm starting to get stuffy. I don't know why. But we're gonna have a lot of things going on in this upcoming year, you know what I mean? And a lot of it's gonna be to educate, a lot of it's gonna be to do different things that will help the breed, that will help brothers and sisters who love this breed and are a part of this breed, to educate this breed. Some of these I'm gonna be doing, matter of fact, by the way, I'm gonna be doing a thing with bank statement bullies this week. So y'all check out bank statement bullies. I'm gonna be doing an interview, and we're gonna go back and forth and get heavy on his place. And then y'all notice that we're gonna start uploading some of these videos to here where we all talking and everything. But we'll have a lot of guests, and it's all about education. It's all about making things better. If you're new to this, if you're old to this or whatever, and you have questions, try, like I said, go on to Keeping It Bully forum, and try to find out as much information as you can there. Let's start our conversations there. And the reason why I'm saying that is that's a serious forum for serious dog people. And I know Facebook is Facebook, but at the same time, Facebook is limiting everything we do. They're censoring half of the conversations. It's really not for us, but they deal with it. You know what I mean? So, look, man, we got some people, man, and that's what y'all don't know what y'all do for me, because y'all excite me, because y'all excitement excite me. Because I remember when we were starting this thing, we got people who are really, really, really. Can a dog really get COVID-19? A dog can. A dog can. we had this discussion yesterday, and I actually seen a doctor chime in on it, and he said yes, the dog can get the virus. Now he's a doctor, so if he told a lie, he told it. I'm just repeating it. But yeah, he said they can. He said they can get the coronavirus. You know, I don't know how it affects them or whatever, but yeah. Oh yeah, it's the Belinda. Yeah, I forgot about your dog. Yeah, yeah. But a lot of people have said that the dog can get the virus and can be a carrier of the virus. So with this virus, man, y'all be careful. Like I told y'all months ago, I lost a couple family members to it, and this shit actually got me for a second. Had my knees hurting for a couple months, but you know, it is what it is. You know, Belinda battling with it right now. You know, and it's rough. You know, it's rough. But I tell y'all what, you know, these videos always go sidetrack. We jump a million titles, and next week we're gonna try to stay somewhat on par, where we talk about the Alapaha Blue Blood Bulldog. We talk about the Merle and what the Merle has, you know what I'm saying, what the Merle has actually done inside the breed. We'll talk about some of the breed characteristics of the Alapaha and what else it brings to the table outside of the Merle coat, which is also some good and some bad. You know, it's not all the way terrible, but we'll also talk about why the Merle is such a hot topic, not just because of the sales of it, but you know, we'll talk about the influence a million different ways, man. You know. And it's a lot of information. Like I said, I know I'll be sporadic on here. I get excited when I get on here with y'all. So if I missed any of y'all topics, if I changed topics too much, y'all forgive me. If I talk about Rihanna too much, y'all just gonna have to deal with that, because I'm a faithful man and I'm loyal to my woman. But you know, we in these things, man. I wish I could go forever, man. But we in these things on the same note, and it's the way we started this video out, talking about this crazy world. I think, you know, I'm gonna jump on here on Sunday morning too, this week, you know. But look, we all got family, we all got friends, we all got somebody who's gonna be happy to hear from us. Y'all make sure y'all reach out to y'all people. Y'all reach out, let them know y'all love, let them know that, you know what I'm saying, that they are loved, that they got somebody. This time of year, y'all can look up the stats. It's the worst time of year for depression. It's the worst time of year for suicides. It is a very, very hard time for people to deal with holidays, you know, with all the things that happen in life. I will hope that y'all can find at least a minute out of your day to call somebody and tell them that you love them, you know. And that's real talk, you know. It just go and let them know you love them. And I was thinking about you, even a short text. I was thinking about you. Hey, you know I love you, Belinda. For sure, you make sure you get healthy for we can talk some shit, you know. But life is short, man, and we got to take care of each other emotionally. Sometimes we can't take care of each other and no other needs besides emotion, you know. But it does not cost you a dime to call somebody and let them know that you care, you know, about their being and about them as a person, you know. That doesn't cost you anything, but, you know, but giving some of your positive energy, and for your own benefactor, they're gonna give you some of that energy back. I've spent a lot of years without a lot of people that I love, and I ain't gonna lie to y'all, it hurts every year, and I know y'all go through the same thing, but you always remember that, you know what I'm saying, it gets greater later, you know. Don't give up on yourself, you know. Don't give up on anything in this life, you know. Reach hard, love hard, you know, and do all, you know, and do all you can, man. And do all you can. You know, it's been a good show. It's been a blessing. And like I end every show saying the same damn thing. If you gonna eat, you make sure you eat good. If you gonna drink, make sure you drink good. If you gonna smoke something, that's your own business, and you smoke good. And if you're gonna do that other thing that me and Rihanna we gonna, you know, make sure you do that good too. Hey, God bless y'all. Y'all make sure y'all enjoying this holiday season, whatever holiday you out here enjoying, and spread some joy, because today was an ugly day. But until next time, I thank y'all. God bless all y'all. I love y'all. Peace out.